All right, so welcome back to 8 Steps of Leasing. We're on step 5. Once you've made your proposal and you have negotiated the terms for your lease, you go into the process of space planning and architectural evaluation. This is particularly important if you're looking at having tenant improvements for your space constructed by the landlord and or the tenant.
Right. So part of what we also need to look at is what market expectations are on what different type of properties you have. For example, if you're looking at retail, it's the landlord's expectation is that you will be doing your own improvement. If you're looking at a Class A office building, often the landlord may have their own space planner or architect that you would be working with in looking at your tenant improvements and what you would want to do with that space.
They'll probably have their selection of construction company as well that'll actually do the tenant improvements in that building. So again, retail tends to deliver a vanilla shell to the tenant. You've got a restroom, perimeter walls, that's it. The retail tenant will typically fixturize their own space for whatever use it might be. Office building, typically you're looking at either taking it as is with paint and carpet, or you go into a more elaborate process of determining tenant improvements you need built out for your space and going through that as well. Analyzing responses to the offer, the letter of intent. This is something that may be very easy or may get very detailed and complicated and timely. And of course, after you've analyzed those responses and chosen the best opportunity or best terms for you, you go into the step number 7, which is really negotiating the lease contract. And there you're going to be taking some time to really review the agreement and understand it. I think that's so important. My biggest rule to tenants and to landlords is read your leases. Read them well, and if you have any questions in any paragraph, make sure you get answers from people who really understand what it is that your concerns are and answer those questions before you sign it. Because once you've signed it, that's your agreement.
That is your agreement, and that's why many times people think, should I really have legal counsel look at my lease? And my answer always is yes, because there's many considerations, and if you haven't looked at these leases on a routine basis, there may be surprises, such as your annual pass-through or such as a net fee. So these are the type of things you'll definitely want a broker and a counsel, your legal counsel, your attorney, look at.
So once you've gone through that process of negotiating your lease contract, the final step is essentially closing the transaction. You've got your signature-ready documents. You've worked out all of your construction plans, space planning, etc. You've got a budget for the tenant improvements if that's applicable. And now you've got your fully executable documents. You've got your check ready to go. You sign off and everything. One of the key things to remember in closing your lease transaction is even though you've spent maybe weeks negotiating, finding the space, negotiating the agreement, and you have the signature ready documents, you sign them all and deliver your check, and off it goes to the landlord. Until you receive that assigned lease agreement back from the landlord and you see it's fully executed, you don't have a deal yet. You really don't. Someone could still come in and make offers on that space. So you really want to act with timeliness and urgency as you get closer and closer to the end, so all that work doesn't go for nothing.
Right, this could be very frustrating at the end. And this is also an important piece that your broker can help you with on your timelines and looking at when it's time to say, hey, let's move forward here. Sometimes it can be daunting. Have I collected enough data? Do I really have all the comparisons in a row? And when's the time to pull the trigger? And that's a great piece that your broker can help you with.
So generally that's the 8 steps to a new lease: finding your location, negotiating your lease agreement, and then finally determining issues having to do with the space, and then signing your documents and getting it done. Obviously, we have a deep appreciation for each tenant's needs. They're very different, especially in the different types of businesses that are out there, whether it's office, retail, industrial, etc. And we certainly think that it's important that each individual person take a close look at their individual needs before you go forward in the process.
This is very true, and going through these steps will also help you ensure that you understand where your position is in the market and make sure that you really are negotiating the best deal where you're at. Ultimately, these 8 steps should be tailored to your specific business because ultimately your needs are really defined by your business itself. We're here to navigate this process with you and negotiate the best deal for your specific needs.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and if you'd like more information, you can see our website, tynercommercial.com.